It feels like the Celtics need to add a third piece to make their own version of a big three.
Right. I mean, look, when you look at the Celtics right now, I just think it's kind of funny whenever I'll hear, okay, well, the Warriors have done this, so now Cleveland needs to do this, and now you need to get Paul George. Like, these guys are really hard to get, okay? And they're so rare that you don't really want to give them up. So then to say, well, the Celtics need to do something, more often than not, these trades aren't available for you to make. It's not like the Celtics can start the week going, well, could we trade for George, we get Butler, we could get Blake, which one do we want? Yeah. Okay, most of the times it just doesn't happen. So yes, they have more assets, especially with that pick from the Nets that's unprotected. That still blows my mind that all these picks were traded in that deal. And that all of them were unprotected. I mean, almost nobody does that, and they did it. So could they? I mean, I guess they could, but the thing around the league is that everybody tells you Blake doesn't want to leave L.A. So, you got to get him involved in this, especially with a new contract for him. So, yes, I think the Celtics, it makes sense to move the pick. But when the Clippers, when we're looking at this year's draft, when 3 of the top 4 guys might all be point guards and they want to keep Chris Paul, like, does that make sense? Is Doc Rivers still calling the shots and all the stuff? Because he's been a great coach, but you wonder about the front office part of it. So I think it's a conversation. But I just think it's a little bit more complicated than just saying, all right, let's go get a third awesome guy.
Clippers perspective. How about the C's perspective here in the next couple of days? Is Danny going to make any moves?
It would be nerve-wracking if I was in this position because, look, I know we talk a lot about Carmelo, how much he loves New York, family stuff, but like Ryan mentioned, Blake is that way with L.A. So it would have to be a scenario to where what Cleveland did with Kevin Love, where they got permission to talk with Kevin Love to see, hey, if we made this deal, would you be open to re-signing with us long term? They will have to do that with Blake to see where his mind is at. He has a player option for that next year. So they have to make sure that, hey, we give up all these assets, those unprotected assets. We have to know that you're going to come down for the long haul. I'm not so sold, and the people that I've talked to aren't sold that Boston would be a long-term fit if a move like that was to be made. So Boston has to do their homework. I think that's why this trade right now is highly unlikely.